Now we're going to do volcano drawing, second grade, and we're doing the volcano drawing to kind of get used to our warm colors and be thinking about warm colors and use that as a reminder so that whenever you think warm colors, you automatically think, oh yeah, I drew that volcano. So our warm colors are going to be used in reds and yellows and oranges on our lava and any fire that we have coming up out of our volcano. I've actually seen a volcano. I wonder how many of you guys have been to or seen a volcano. I saw a volcano in Hawaii in Hilo, which is on the Big Island. There was another volcano on that island that was very, very big. It takes up most of the island. It was like right behind our hotel, and every time you looked up, there it was. You couldn't even see the top. It was so tall. Some volcanoes are very, very active. Some volcanoes are dormant, which means they are inactive for long periods of time. And some volcanoes are extinct, which means they no longer erupt and they no longer have any activity. A lot of people think of lava when they think of volcanoes. The lava is called lava whenever it's out of the ground, coming out. And when it's in the ground, it's called magma. And it comes up out of the ground and it creates islands if it comes out up in the ocean. So if it comes out of the ground at the bottom of the ocean, it creates these massive islands that we see the tops of, which the Hawaiian Islands are a great example. Japan is also a great example of a volcanic island. We have volcanoes in the United States. They're mostly out on the West Coast. And we do have one kind of in the west middle of the U.S., and that is Yellowstone National Park. Bet you didn't know that was a giant volcano caldera, which is the middle of a volcano. So bet you didn't know that. That's why it's so hot there and they have those hot springs there. So we're going to talk a little bit more about volcanoes while we draw our volcano. This activity has to do with warm colors. And this time we're going to be drawing a volcano. That way we can use warm colors to color it. I've got my paper not going this way, not horizontal. I've got it going vertically. First of all, we're going to give ourselves some land for a volcano to come up out of. When a volcano erupts, the lava that comes out is called lava when it erupts, but whenever it's still underground, it's called magma. Its name changes whenever it comes out of the ground. So we're going to start out with kind of a triangular shape. But I'm going to leave the triangle open and unfinished. There's lots of different types of volcanoes. The one that's most popular when you think of a volcano that pops into your head is a cinder cone volcano, and it has very steep sides and has that triangular appearance. Now we're going to create our hole in the top. Make it kind of rough. And then you can make some sloppy bits of lava, wobbly lines. Notice we're still using those gentle curved lines. We're not using great big squished together curves. We're using gentle curves. I'm going to put a little bit laying over the side of the volcano. We went and saw a volcano in Hawaii, didn't we, Matt?
Yeah, except it was an underground. It was one that's like under.
It was low to the ground. It was a really big, wide crater in Hawaii. It was over in Hilo, which a few years later it ended up erupting when we weren't there, thankfully. Okay, now if you want to, you can have some blobs of lava flying up out of it. They're going to kind of be teardrop shape or raindrop shapes. And then we're going to make some clouds of steam and ash coming out of it. Actually, the most dangerous part of a volcanic eruption is not really so much the lava. The lava gets a lot of attention, but the most dangerous part is what's called the pyroclastic flow, which is the burst of super hot gas and super hot air and super hot ash that's very, very fine, like powder, that gets blasted out. And that's the part that's the most dangerous. Lava, a lot of times, depending on the type of volcano, you can kind of avoid the lava. Now, if you want to, you can make this area right here ground, or you can make it water. A lot of volcanoes are out in the ocean, and that's where a lot of our islands come from. They are actually areas where a volcano has erupted and all the lava has run down and cooled, run down and cooled, run down and cooled, and created the island. That's what Hawaii is. It's a string of volcanoes, and each island has a volcano. The big island of Hawaii has two. You remember whenever we were staying at our hotel, it was right behind our hotel. You could look up and see this great big mountain that had, you couldn't even see the top of it because it was so high in the clouds. That was kind of cool. So you can go ahead and develop this any way you want. We're going to be coloring it mostly with warm colors, browns for the side of our volcano. You can have a little bit of green like there's trees down here, and then we're going to be using yellows and oranges when we color this. So we'll color that when we get back. Hi class, let's see how my volcano drawing turned out. It turned out pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with the way the coloring turned out. I had a couple of spots right here and here where I had colored pencil on my fingertips since mine are so heavily pigmented, and I got some red out here. So I just threw some little spurts of lava to cover those mistakes up. And I hope you guys had a good time drawing, and we'll see you next time.